Hello everybody and welcome back to Kitchen Orama. Hope you guys are staying safe. And we are on Facebook, and if you have an Instagram account, let's connect. What are we making today? We are making these yummylicious spicy potato filled samosas. For this recipe you need about 4 to 5 medium boiled potatoes, coarsely mashed, about 1 cup of green peas, frozen or fresh is fine, 1 medium onion chopped finely. You need about 2 tablespoons of ginger garlic paste and your regular salt, turmeric, coriander powder, and red paprika, about 1 tablespoon of cumin seeds. You need 1.5 cup of whole wheat flour. You need half a cup of rice flour, and you need about half a cup of oats flour. Ground oats work just fine, and some cooking oil for frying. Now remember, making samosas is a two-step process. You need to make your dough right and you need to make your filling right. If you have an Instant Pot, go ahead and turn your Instant Pot on for saute mode. Add about 2 to 3 tablespoons of oil, and once your oil is warmed up, you're going to add your cumin seeds and your chopped onions in there. Go ahead and mix it all well up together. Now if you do not have an Instant Pot, that's totally fine. You can make this recipe in a regular bottom pan. The process and the time frame required is absolutely the same. Go ahead and add about 2 tablespoons of ginger garlic paste and make sure you are mixing it all well up together. Now, if you have been following my recipes for some time, you know I'm a big fan of caramelizing the onion. I do not like the raw flavor of the onions in my food. Once your onions have caramelized, go ahead and add your green peas. Now, if you're using frozen, make sure you're thawing them correct and you are taking all the excessive water out. You do not want any extra water in your masala because you want the potato filling to be dry. Go ahead and add about 1 tablespoon of each: salt, turmeric, red paprika, coriander powder, and any store-bought garam masala that you might have. Any curry masala will work just fine as well. Because we are not adding any extra water in this recipe, you want to make sure you're mixing it all good and do not let it burn. Go ahead and add your mashed potatoes. Now, one quick tip I want you to remember is your potatoes should not be mashed too much. They should have some chunks in them. You can add about half a lemon juice. Now that's totally optional. It gives you a good, nice, tangy flavor, but if you want to skip that, that is totally doable. And now you're going to turn off your Instant Pot and your masala is ready. Let it sit aside. Go ahead and mix all your 3 flours that you've used in a small bowl. We are not using all-purpose flour, so your dough is not going to come out as crispy as store-bought samosas. But this is a healthy version for the dough used in samosas. Add about 1 tablespoon of salt. You can add some carom seeds or some cumin seeds to give that extra texture to your dough. Add about 3 to 4 tablespoons of oil and mix your dough well with just plain oil first. You want to crumble it up nice. Now this ensures that your dough becomes fluffy and it gives you that crispy texture you need. Go ahead and mix the oil well up into the dough. Make sure it's all crumbly. And now slowly add water into the flour. You don't want to add too much of water. Add portion by portion because this helps you to control the moisture content in your dough. You want your dough to be stiff. It shouldn't be too runny, too sticky. Coat it with some oil. Knead it one more time and set it aside for about 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, go ahead and split your dough into small portions and turn them into ball sizes. Now, each single ball of dough can make up to 2 samosas. So go ahead and roll them in. And I've made and you can make roughly about close to 20 samosas with this measurement. You're going to go ahead and take 1 piece of your dough, sprinkle it with some dried whole wheat flour, and now we're going to start rolling it. Now, when you're rolling your dough, you have to make sure that it is neither too thin nor too thick. It should be, if you've ever bought a store-bought wheat or corn tortilla, it should be about that thickness. It should be rolled into an oblong shape or an oval shape. And then we're going to cut it right in the center. You need 2 semicircles, technically, which can be converted into making the cone you need for samosas. So go ahead and cut it right in the middle, and I will show you it's not too thin, but it's thick enough. Now, I'm going to wet the edges with some plain water Now the water on the dough is going to act as a glue, which will help me seal the edges. I'm going to flip the horizontal portion of my semicircle and flip it onto each other, and I'm going to squeeze those edges together to make a tight seal. As you can see, the cone is already coming together in a shape, and once I have sealed the edges, my cone's ready to be filled with my spicy potato filling. I'm going to go ahead and fill that in. You don't want to stuff it too much, but just the right amount. Then use your fingers to pat it down. Wet the edges again with some water, and you make sure you have enough of room for the dough to seal. Now use your index finger to create that S-shaped curve, and go ahead and pinch the edges together, and that's it. You don't need any special molds, no special techniques, and your samosa is ready. And I'm going to show you with another piece again. Go ahead and wet the edges, flip them onto each other, stick them together, pat it together so there is a good nice seal. And that's your cone. Go ahead and put some spicy potato filling in there. Whoop, I'm not hitting anybody, I promise. The masala just didn't want to come out of my spoon. And I'm going to use my finger to pat it in there, create some room for the edges, wet the edges with some water, and I will show you this trick again. Use your index finger for the bottom portion. Flip it over into an S-shaped curve. Stick it together, and boom. Go ahead and push them together, press them together, and create that tight seal. You have to make sure that the seal is tight. You don't want your masala coming out in the oil while you're frying it. And in the similar way, I'm going to go ahead and finish making all my samosas. As you can see, I have made a bunch of these. Now the tip is your oil should not be too hot. It should be hot on a medium flame. And go ahead and drop your samosas in oil to deep fry. Yes, I am deep frying my samosas. I do not make samosas every single day, so once in a while when I indulge, I do them the right way. You can air fry them, and that's totally fine too, but I like my samosas deep fried. And make sure they are being flipped over so that they get evenly golden brown on all sides, and they're nice and crispy. Now, if your oil is too hot, then the dough is going to stay undercooked. It might look like it's golden brown, but it won't cook all the way through. So keep the oil on medium flame. It's going to take a little while, but once you are done, you can see that beautiful golden brown color on samosas, and they are ready to be served. Serve it with ketchup or any homemade dips. I have used mint and cilantro chutney here, and enjoy with friends and family.